Good morning. Good morning, Thomas. Good morning, Johnny. And good morning, Michael.
Good morning.
Yeah. Michael, can you change your name on the screen showing support? You can just change your name to Michael so that it'll be easy for others.
Okay.
And Thomas and Johnny, Michael Lawrence will be your trainer for CISSP. And Michael, you have only two students in this training, and one is Thomas and the other is Johnny. So you can introduce yourselves and you can just start the training. Okay.
Okay. Hello, I'm Michael Lawrence. I'm a CISSP certified professional. I've got my A+, Network+, MCP, and Sniper platform certifications for SIEM. I will be going over some of the objectives for the CISSP exam and some of the exam style that I've seen in the past that they've used. And then, you can take a moment to introduce yourselves.
Sure. My name's Thomas Stocking. I am a product manager for a software company. I'm now shifting careers over to security based on the new job I just got. And I have always been interested in security. I've held a couple of SANS certifications in the past. I haven't maintained them, but I was an intrusion detection analyst, and I really enjoyed that work. So I decided I'd get back into security now, and I always wanted to get the CISSP. So a lot of the concepts in the material are familiar to me, but I never got the certification. So I'm going to go through it in detail now and go ahead and pick up the exam anyway, and eventually get the certification.
I mean, the exam, as they said when I took the boot camp in 2016, it's a mile wide and an inch deep. It's lots of little bits of trivia, but it's not as super deep as some of the SANS certs.
Yeah, those were definitely a challenge. A lot of hands-on work to get those.
This here, they could, randomly ask you fire codes, U.S., British, or anything international. So, I mean, that's the only quirk of the test. They may ask, when I last took it, there was like 250 questions, 25 of them beta, but seems like they've gone, as reading the outline, they've gone to more slightly adaptive format.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also had a Novell CNE back in the day, and that was an adaptive set of tests. So, okay.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's like the first time I took that one, I missed it by 3 questions.
Yeah, the only one I missed was the TCP/IP because it was so it was such a left field thing at the time. Now, of course, I own a copy of TCP/IP Illustrated, and it's pretty much second nature.
They're saying here that like this one's adaptive. Anyway, about the CISSP, it's for like security and risk management, asset security, communication and network security, identity and access management, and security assessment and testing, security operations, and some of it will go over software development security. So usually that was like some of their beta or potentially get you questions that I'd answer. The time I took it, there may be 3 correct answers. However, one of them's the best.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it will be drawn from the CISSP Common Body of Knowledge. At the time I took it, there was an online test simulator that we took with the boot camp, so you can basically go over your chapter questions. I don't know if they've included that in here, but um, that's what I had last used. Uh, I mean, as I said, like CSSP is very broad. It's just not very, uh, you know, too much depth. It's just, leveraging stuff. It's like 5 years of paid work experience in 2 or more than 8 domains. College degrees, a waiver. Like if you've already worked in security, you basically can, as long as you have documentation for those, and I would try and gather those up, because otherwise it'll give you the associated CISSP and it will be a bit of an irritation to try and go for endorsement, because they have made the test, and the endorsement process a little bit more stringent, because they had some kid that had a master's degree at 19 years old. It was like a child prodigy with like 3 or 4 patents behind his name, so everybody still cried foul, as he got his CISSP without too much fuss.
Yep, shouldn't be a problem.
So yeah, I would definitely get your documentation, because like if you try and self-certify, or unless you have a friend that's a CISSP on hand, getting the endorsement can be kind of a pain. And then sometimes they'll audit, and then you want to basically back it up with your evidence. Otherwise, they'll just say like, no.
Yeah, I think I've got everything I need to do that.
So anyway, they'll make you be the associate for a while, and then basically keep you there. And you have to get lots of credits and other stuff. I don't know if you've seen like the online job portal, or I mean the online portal for it.
I think so. This is separate from the testing portal, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like you'll sign in here. You can basically also create an account with like BrightTalk. Then you can link it to your ISC squared account. But like you watch the videos, you get like 1 hour CPE. So that will go toward the maintaining of your certs. Like if you have CompTIAs or otherwise like that, you can usually take your transcript and put it upon your IC, your CompTIA requirements to keep them up to date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need a certain number of credits every year. I saw that.
Yeah, like for an associate, it's like 15 credits, 40 credits for your job. But I mean, you can get like up to 6 credits from doing your job every year. Some of the Dallas symposiums here in the DFW area, like Dallas Fort Worth, you can go to like an industry trade show and easily get like 3 to 6 CPEs for doing that kind of stuff. So, and then you can add them to the, credentials task. You go to any association meetings like OWASP or uh, ISA. You can also add their credits to that too. So there's that as far as like maintaining it.
Oh, so the ISO credits work too? So I'm an ISO member.
Yeah, ISA credits will work. Like there's the hack the box credits that you can get. They'll actually give you a certificate. You can basically scan and upload for those. So like the hack the box from ISA here in the DFW area definitely works. Like a few weeks ago, there was another industry trade show in the Irving Convention Center. So wherever you are, there's usually one. There's also a big ISO conference coming up, or IC squared conference coming up that's like national, like in Vegas or something. That's like you just attending, you get like 24 credits.
Oh, wow.
So you can get a great deal of credits from that. So like some of the trade shows, you can get a ton of credits. So not too shabby on those particular requirements. So it's fairly easy to maintain. You can just watch a video for and get like an hour long accreditation. So usually once or twice a month they've got some, where they have some that are stashed on Bright Talk. You just watch them, and you can read your email or study for another cert, and as long as you listen to them for about an hour, then you're good to go. So not too hard. I don't know what test bank system that they gave us, but I mean, basically it looks like they shortened the exam time down because a lot of people were blowing it out of the park, and under 3 hours. At the time, there was like a total this last time I took it. There was more questions on there, but you will get a score on your test if you don't pass. You will pass, but they will not give you a score.
Hmm.
So basically, they don't want like the CompTIA places. Like if you pass with a certain score, you can makes it easier to get a job as an instructor, or like certain places will prefer you because you have 10 more points than the other guy. But here, once you pass, you're pretty much a CISSP or an associate of the CISSP, hands down. No ifs, ands, or buts if you pass the score. But 50 or 680, they'll make like, yep, yeah, just missed by X. But my point is that when I took it, I didn't want to. I blew it out of the. I had one voucher from work in Texas. So that time, since the unemployment people were gracious enough to pay for it, um, I was gracious as the one that we used, like in training, um, that they gave us a long time ago at my boot camp. And, you can chew it up in sections, but like at the time I took it, it said they will make you go to a Pearson View Center, not like the
Mhm.
Pearson View like at your mom and pop certification boot camp. You will have to go to like the Pearson Professional Building. So I don't know where you guys are at or where you guys are from, but I used
It
to.
seemed to indicate there was an online option, maybe because of the pandemic.
Yeah, I hadn't known. I mean, I'm just saying, based off of last experience, I haven't seen like the online proctored version. I actually had to go into the building and be, held hostage. But the last time I took it, you had a total of 6 hours. I blew that test out of the water in like about 2.5 hours because I had over prepared for it. And I took my trainer's strategy. He, suggested like Slim Jims or like something spicy. It was like spicy jerky and some caffeine because you could get up and take a break. Do about 30, the 45 questions because at that time it was a 250 question slug. So do about 45 questions, get up, go around, go pee, slam a Coke. It's like by the time I was done with it, I was wired with enough caffeine to wake a cemetery. So, you couldn't get bored on the questions, but, that was like the strategy at the time was like, the spicy food was to help, be that slap to the face to wake you up. Because like you had other people around you taking like tests to be like a certified nurse, a plastic surgeon, getting their real estate license, because that was basically the type of Pearson testing center that you have to go to. They kind of lock you in, they make you take biometrics for the door, you know, whole to do. That was like
Cool.
the big deal. But I'm saying I'm hoping that they included this particular test simulator. It's not too badly priced for $50, but Yeah.
Thanks. That's a good tip.
It's like, yeah, this was like the test that I took because you could break it up into chapters. That way you could start going over what you miss. But like you could